Hi, I'm Nancy Millan, Hillsborough County Tax Collector, and we are back with Conversations with Nancy. And this one is really exciting because there's two programs that I am so proud of that we are launching as part of our mission of serving our customers one at a time with amazing services. And that is two programs that are coming out to our community, bringing services to the community. And with me today to talk about the two programs is Danielle. Hi, Danielle. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do within the organization?
Yes, so my name is Danielle Granda, and I've been with the organization almost now 4 years in July, I think.
That's crazy. It goes by so fast, right?
I know, it goes by so fast. And so for my first 3.5 years, I was your assistant, and
that's a tough job.
I'll always be your assistant. But recently I transitioned to a new role, business operations manager. And
and congratulations. And you have a big role because it is part of your role is with these two programs that we're talking about, right?
Right.
So there's Mobile ID Go, and then we have Miles. So before we get into the Miles, and people are probably saying, what the heck is that? I really want to focus on Mobile ID Go because that's the really what kicked this thing off of bringing services to our community, something that has been so important to me from the very beginning of when I became tax collector, and having access to units that are actually mobile to issue IDs and driver's license is essential, especially when we get into this conversation about Mobile ID Go. So can you tell us how we use Mobile ID Go and what it means to our community?
Yeah, so Mobile ID Go is a great program because it helps so many people, but people don't realize, unless you're in this situation, unless you've had a loved one that you live with or you're caring for, that they can't physically leave their house to come in and get an ID.
Right.
You know, we've helped people, not just old people, we've helped young people, but we're there for people when they really need it in important times,
Right.
whether it's people that need hospice care and they may only be alive for a few more months, but they need this service, and without an ID, they can't get it.
So just a little history. This service really is dedicated to those who are homebound. For instance, folks that are in assisted living facilities. Before we had this Mobile ID Go unit, people had to make arrangements either to be driven by a caregiver or brought in with an ambulance, and we'd have to make an appointment because we still needed to take their photo to issue these credentials. IDs, regardless of where you're at in life, is still an essential piece of information that's needed, especially when you're applying for different services, or even within those facilities, it's required to have some type of credentials. So getting their IDs and having them that they not letting them expire is really critical. So introducing this program allows for some dignity and respect for those people. It's not just for elderly, it's for anyone who is really in some critical care or something like that, so that we can actually go to them, and we actually go to their homes and do this. Can you talk about what that experience looks like?
And you have to remember, too, that not everybody has a family member that can even pick them up and help them get to the office. If you're an elderly person or you're homebound, you may not have family.
Right.
So we come to you. So either a reach out to us on the phone or on our website, we have a form that they can fill out where they can put their name, their contact number, their email, and then we reach back out to them. We make sure they qualify for the program. And so to qualify for the program, you have to be a Hillsborough County resident, and then you also have to be homebound.
Okay.
And
so there is a doctor's note or something that's also required with that, right?
Yep. And so once we make sure that they have those two qualifications of being a Hillsborough County resident and that they are homebound, to make sure they are homebound, we have to make sure that their doctor signs a form saying that they are homebound, they're not able to come into the office, and once we get that form, then we start to verify their documents. We don't actually, we still need their documents when we get to the visit, but we have to make sure that they have everything there because we don't want to come out to their house and then assume they have it, and then it's a wasted trip.
So there's a pre-screening process. So regardless of, again, what stage you are in your life and if you're able to come in or out, but the document requirements for issuing a driver's license or an ID still remain the same. They still have to present their real ID. If they're not real, if they are real ID and there's an address change and those types of things, then they would have to bring those documents and present those. Not bring them, but they'll present them to you at the time when you visit the office or visit their home. Correct?
Correct. So we do like we have them take a picture of us, of the documents, and then they send it to us in a secure link. We verify that the documents are up to date, that they're what they need, and then we tell them to have it there with them on site. And then when we come on site is when we bring our scanner and we scan the actual documents in at that point.
So it's so, I know it sounds like a lot, but when, like you said earlier, when you're in that situation and you have a loved one that you're taking care of or in a facility, having this type of service is so special and meaningful. And that's something that we're really proud of is, again, part of our values and our mission is going above and beyond. And to me, this is one of those things. You're not going to make a lot of money off of this, but truly just showing that we care and showing some empathy and respect for people in need is important. And so this type of service, I'm so proud of, and I'm so proud of our team because it really is making a difference in allowing a person to have some dignity and be able to get what they need. Can you tell me about the feeling you get when you're there and you walk out of that home?
It's so rewarding, and then I feel so happy for the family when you leave there. They're like, thank you so much. Without we wouldn't have been able to do this, whether it's it's like even banking information for these elderly people that need access to their bank account to help them continue to get care. You really see the impact. We've even gone into hospitals where people are literally in a hospital room.
Right.
You're there from them in a time of need. So
yes, and that's really what makes this program so unique and special. We also have, it's not only for homebound, but we also have partnered up with other community agencies to bring services, and one of those agencies is with the sheriff's office. When folks are actually, or inmates that are actually exiting and going to get a fresh start at life, they also require they're going to get a job, so they're going to need an ID or driver's license. So we've been able to partner up with them. So you want to talk about that partnership a little?
Yeah, so it's the inmate reentry program that we partner with the sheriff's office. And so we pick one day a month where we go out, and I think they're pretty much graduating from their reentry program, and it's probably their last step out into getting back into the community. And we provide them all with their IDs or driver's license before they leave, and we're able to take the equipment into the jail, and we're in a secure location, and we're able to process all their identification cards there for them. And
again, this is a major milestone for that person, because imagine now when they exit or walk out of that jail facility, they actually have a reset. They have a driver's license or an ID and are set and ready to go, rather than having to go through a lot of red tape and visiting our office, or even, being accompanied by law enforcement. So again, doing it in a way that is with dignity and respect to those who, went through hard times and now they're coming out, have, got an education, while they were in this process and in jail, but now they have a second chance at life. And so being a part of that, to me, is something that we're very proud of, and that we're making an impact. And I know that that's another great feeling too, from you and your team that I've heard.
Yeah, it's great. It's just you go every month, you see different people every month, and then when you think about how many, I know it's maybe the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it really is a lot to these people.
I was looking at the stats, and we started this program about a year ago, and we've actually helped about almost 1,000 inmates in this reentry program. So again, it's agencies working together for our community and the betterment of our residents. And so this is just one example of working together to help our residents. So thank you for sharing that. So now I'm going to go on to Miles. This is one of that is my pride and joy. Since I started as tax collector, the one thing I wanted to do is really focus on accessibility and having a bus, just like our Flowmobile. A Flowmobile is a state-owned unit, and it's really hard to come by, and you have to reserve it. So my goal was always to have our own bus that's really just dedicated to Hillsborough County. And after, almost 6 years, it's finally here. A 40-foot mobile unit, which is an office, and a fully functional office that can essentially do everything that you can do in one of our branches. So truly excited about that.
How did you feel when you saw I remember seeing your face when you saw the bus for the first time. I was so happy to see your face.
It was very emotional because, again, to see a dream like that to come to fruition and actually see it where we're really going to be making an impact. And when I talk to folks, I've been talking about this for a really long time, and to finally see it here, and knowing that the impact that it's going to have on our community is huge because, again, going to those underserved areas. And I'm thrilled because in your new role, you and I will be working on making those connections. Where is that bus going to go? It's going to go all over the Hillsborough County because it's dedicated to us. We can go to assisted living facilities. We can go to USF. We can go to big corporations that have people with really crazy schedules where we can schedule a day that we can be out there.
Hospitals?
Yes, we can go all over. And I'm really excited about it because the opportunities are endless. I do remember last year we did a community event in Sun City.
Kings Point, yep.
And that when we took our mobile units and we were able to help hundreds of people in that event. Sun City Center, it's senior citizen residents, and sometimes they don't have the transportation to get to one of our offices, and it's maybe not that close. So what do you think about this Miles bus?
I mean, the great thing about Miles is the one thing that MIG was missing that we always wanted was like, oh, this would make it so much easier if we just had a printer here, because we would avoid a whole step of having to leave the customer's home, going and get the ID and bringing it back. With Miles, you don't have to leave. You're there and you can...
The printer is on the bus.
So,
and that's exciting because, again, it just makes us more efficient, and that customer can get their credentials right on the spot.
Yeah.
So it just opens up for more opportunities to accessibility.
Feeding Tampa Bay.
Oh, yes, we worked with Feeding Tampa Bay. Thank you for reminding me. We had a partnership with them in one of the facilities there. Can you talk about how did that happen there? How did they coordinate that?
Well, you made the initial connection, and then we met with them, and they have different agencies come in that they partner with that they can provide services to their neighbors, is what they call. And so we went ahead and scheduled a few days quarterly. We visit them where we advertise, we do pre-registration so the neighbors can sign up, and we can help them come and get their ID and driver's license. We don't really do driver's license mainly, but more IDs. And you have to remember, these are also people that don't have easy transportation to come into an office because they're people that use them for all their services. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop. And so to be able to bring our services there kind of adds value to the whole picture that they offer their neighbors.
I'm certain that even after this podcast and even the more we talk about Miles, I know that our opportunities are going to be endless. I know that there is a need even for the homeless and being able to obtain IDs for homeless. And so that's another area that we want to work with that community and work with those agencies that specifically are designed to help our homeless community in getting credentials, because we've actually had to deal with those as well in some of our offices. So again, bringing services out to our community and to the neighborhoods, I think really sets the bar of where we're headed as far as innovation. And when we talk about amazing services, to me, this is what amazing services looks like. Coming out to our communities and being there and bringing services to your neighborhood.
Yep. And you're empowering your customers too.
Yes, absolutely. So again, one of the things that we need to remind folks, if they want to know more about our Mobile ID Go program and Miles, where do we need to go?
Our website. hillstaxfl.gov.
Right. And if I don't go through the website, you can call at 813-635-5200. We're happy to help. We also have a website too where we'll have information and you can sign up or ask questions. So please, if you're interested or want to learn more about these wonderful programs that we have, visit our website at hillstaxfl.gov. Thanks, Danielle. I'm so happy that you were here to share all of this great information with me and our community. So I appreciate you and look forward to all the new things that are coming about in this new coming year.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
Yes. And guys, thank you for stopping in and listening and Conversations with Nancy. I'm Nancy Millan, Hillsborough County Tax Collector. If you want more information, you know where to find us, hillstaxfl.gov.